Hey there, my name is John Stevenson. Welcome to the Guaranteed Retirement Guy Show. So you might have $2 million and you're wondering to yourself, do I really need guaranteed income? Well, we're going to address that. So $2 million is a great portfolio to have saved up. And you're thinking to yourself, man, I've done well. I have a lot of, just growth here and I think I'll be fine. I don't think I need guarantees. And you might be right. You might not need them, but we're going to discuss them anyways. And you might decide at the end of this video that it might be something worth considering. So that is totally up to you, but I'm here to at least show you what's available and then you can kind of decide for yourself. In my opinion, it is nice to have guarantees so that you can invest your money elsewhere. So what I mean by that is use the least amount of your portfolio for guarantees, for contractual guarantees, for income that you cannot outlive, and then invest the rest. That's what I'm doing. I like doing that, but everyone's different. Some people are so wealthy where they're like, I can just take out of my investments and live off of it and I'm fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also have people that reach out and they are super, super wealthy. And they're like, I want the income because I want to make sure that it's contractual, guaranteed. I want to invest my other money the way I want to. And if the market takes a dump, I don't want to stress out about it. Or they might be doing it because their spouse is like, they don't know anything about the investment side and they don't want something that, like, if they died, they don't want their spouse to have to try to go into their investments, liquidate, try to figure out how to create the same income that their other spouse was doing. So that's why people do it, is they're trying to protect people from having to do that. They could just have that guaranteed paycheck. So I'm just going to explore these options with you, and then you can decide for yourself that that's something you want to explore for yourself. So, and I always tell people, go to my website, johnstevenson.com, use my annuity calculators, and look at the income rider if you're looking for highest income, and that will show you exactly what the highest contractual payouts are. So again, that is up to you. I mean, I sell annuities, but what I focus on is the whole annuity market. Okay, I look at all the carriers. I look at all the contracts. There's thousands of different variations and options out there. I want people to see it all. Okay, because when you're making the most important decision, in my opinion, for your retirement, you have to make sure you're seeing all the options. And unfortunately, there are many advisors that will show you 1, 2, or 3 options, and they'll convince you those are the best, and you'll buy them. So in my opinion, it's best that you can research, kind of like Zillow, and be able to see what's available. And then when you feel comfortable, reach out. Okay, so I'm happy to help you. You can book a meeting with me right below this video if you'd like to. Otherwise, you can go to my website and browse and see what is available. Do your own research through the carriers. And then if you feel comfortable, you can book a Zoom meeting with me there as well. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Let's go through this together. So we got $2 million. And I'm not saying you're going to invest $2 million, but I'm just going to show you that first, and then we'll play with the numbers, okay? So $2 million, let's say you live in Florida. You are 59, your spouse is 66. Let's say you're married. If you're not married, then that changes the numbers. Or if you're married and you have separate money and you still want to do single payouts, you can do that too. So, and you can do that on my calculators. So my calculators are not as pretty as this, but they will shoot out the same numbers. Okay. This is the back end, kind of shows you a little bit more, and we'll kind of go in more depth on how these work. Okay. So based off of 2 million, if you were to let it sit, okay, again, I'm letting it sit for 6 years, okay? If you don't let it sit, it's not going to be as high of a payout. So that all depends on your age. If you're a little bit older than this and you let it sit for a couple of years, you're still going to have a higher payout. So it just depends on a lot of factors. Okay, so based off of that, this person is going to get $228,000 a year in guaranteed income, okay? Pretty good, okay? It's definitely not as high as, they can get more growth in this, stay in the stock market, right? Unless, of course, the stock market drops and doesn't recover for a few years, then not so much. But this is for guarantees. This is not for growth, because they're giving you 25% of the S&P 500. See, they're buying call options. So they're giving you a portion of it, not all of it. This is not a growth product. It is a product for income. And so based off of this, they're showing you if the stock market drops and never recovers and you have no growth, then your account balance is going to go down to 0 by the time you're 73. Your income, though, that's guaranteed. That's why you bought it. Okay, and then they show you, but if the stock market does well, and we, of course, share the percentage that we're sharing, then your account balance is going to last longer, right? But again, eventually it will deplete, and your death benefit will deplete, because you can see right over here on the right, that death benefit coincides with your account value. So if you and your spouse die early, that money is still going to go back to your estate or to your beneficiaries. So But again, what you're doing is you're buying a pension. You're buying a $7 million pension. By the time you're 95, you've taken out that much. Okay. If you live longer or your spouse lives longer, you will continue to take that out because this is a lifetime annuity contract. So these are very effective. People love these because they love having the income and they love not having to worry about that. Okay. If you've got this and you got another 50 grand in Social Security income, you're sitting pretty good. You know, that's pretty good, almost $280,000 in income. And if you've got other assets and you want to invest and grow those and do whatever you want, you can, and you've got your income covered. So a lot of people will do this. Now, I'm going back to, again, you might be thinking, well, I've got 2 million, John, but I don't want to put all of it into an annuity. I don't even know if I want an annuity. Okay. Maybe I want to invest 900 grand. Okay. So I'll just put 900,000 in. I just want to put 900,000 because I want to invest the rest. I want to keep some of it in cash, some of it in the market. So I might put 900,000 into an annuity contract. Okay, I want some guarantees. I want to make sure I have that peace of mind. But I don't want to put all my money into it. Okay. All right. Okay, you're getting $100,000. Still pretty good, right? You're getting $100,000 a year. You got 50 grand coming in from Social Security or from a pension or whatever. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you just sold your business and you got 100,000 and that's perfect. So you got $100,000 coming in. You got 1.1 million still left out of this contract and you plan on keeping 300,000 in cash. Okay. You just want 300,000 as a nice cushion. And then you're thinking, I'd like to invest the other 800,000 in the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 has grown 10% on average. Okay. So I'm going to look at compounding interest and we'll say, let's say you left it there. Okay. $800,000. You just left it there and you let it grow. Okay. After 10 years at 10% interest, you didn't add anything to it. There you go. You got your 2 million back. Grows to 2 million. Not bad. Okay. So 10 years, you're back at 2 million. But now you still have your lifetime income. At that point, you might be like, I want to raise. I'm going to take another 100 grand and buy more income. But you're also older, so it's going to be more than 100,000. Maybe you can get another, 125,000. Okay, so you just double that income there. Now it's at 225 plus whatever other income sources you have. So, but now you spend $1 million, right? You build it up to 2 million. You spend another $1 million on another annuity contract, and you left the other $1 million in there. So let that $1 million in for another 10 years. There you go. That grows to 2.5. You see, and the cycle continues. And this is what a lot of people do is they will just grow their assets on the side and they will buy their income and they'll keep stacking their income. I have clients that have 10 of these, okay? And they'll just stack their income as needed. And in my opinion, if you compartmentalize things and say, I have this money for income, this money for my guarantees, I have this money for my savings, and I have this money for the stock market, okay? That's what I have. I want growth. I want to beat inflation. I want to have growth. I want to take advantage of it. I want to stay in the game. Great. But I also want money for emergencies. Great. Got that. And I can do that over here. I can feel comfortable with it, especially when the market goes down, because I got this massive annuity, or maybe it's not massive. Maybe it's small, but it's big enough. Okay. It's covering your needs and even some of your wants. Okay. And it's providing you the lifestyle that you want. So when the market takes a dump, you're fine. Okay. You're not sitting there stressing out about it. You're not exiting positions that you know you shouldn't. You're not taking losses that you know you shouldn't. Instead, you just let it sit and ride. And you're like, well, that's a bummer, but all right, I'm going to Europe, right? Whatever you see, that's what's so. That's why people like these. Okay, they're not doing it for I want tons of income and growth, and I gotta have lots of growth. And how dare they recommend an annuity because they don't have a lot of growth? They should do all this other mutual funds split or whatever. Like it, I love mutual funds are good and stocks are good. I love them. But there's a place for growth and there's a place for guarantees, and why not have both? So unfortunately, there are advisors that are like, no, definitely no annuities. It's just because they don't make ongoing fees on them. Okay. And it kind of destroys the assets under management philosophy. Right. So anyways, I'm not here to try to persuade you one way or the other. I just want you to see, here's what's available. Okay. If you have a $2 million portfolio, maybe this is worth considering, or maybe it's not. Okay. So if you have questions, comments, please ask them below. Okay. I'd be happy to answer them. If you like the video, make sure you like it, subscribe, share. If you are looking to purchase an annuity and you want some help from someone who is going to show you everything, regardless of what his commissions are, then I would invite you to book a meeting with me. Okay, there is a Zoom link right down below. It'll actually put you on my calendar. And then, of course, if you want to just browse and you want to look at what contracts are paying right now, then I would invite you to go to my website, johnstevenson.com, look at my calculators, use my calculators, plug in your information and find out what the payouts are. And then if you want to reach out to me, you certainly can. There's a way to book a meeting there as well. So I'm not going to reach back out to you, even though you have to put your email in for the calculator results. It's just used to send you the results. Okay. It's not put on a list for spamming or anything. It just goes directly to me. And I'm not going to email you because I want you to just browse and not have to feel like you're going to be contacted and try to be sold something, and you have to be polite and say, no, I'll let you know when I'm ready. Like, I hate that. So I just want people to be able to browse and decide what they want to do. And then if they want some help, of course, I'd love to help you. So anyways, hope that is helpful. Hopefully you feel the sincerity, and hopefully you got some clarity on your questions, what you're looking for. So happy to help however I can. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.